I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch network. We've talked about here at MeidasTouch how the MAGA extremists were living in their own weird, bizarre, dangerous, conspiracy-laden echo chamber. But it is a beautiful thing to watch the MAGA extremists realize that in real time. So I want to show you this clip from the Charlie Kirk. He's a MAGA right-wing extremist. His podcast, which is broadcast live as the votes were coming in Arizona, where it was apparent that the election-denying MAGA extremist candidate Kari Lake was going to lose, and she was backed heavily by Charlie Kirk, and he really pushed her candidacy and all of the election-denying conspiracy theories about the 2020 election. But let me play you this clip of Charlie Kirk. Also in attendance is the right-wing extremist state senator in Arizona. It's crazy just saying that. Wendy Rogers, and you see how the night progresses as it becomes apparent that Kari Lake will be defeated by the pro-democracy Arizona Secretary of State, Katie Hobbs. And you just see the epiphany that takes place amongst the MAGA extremists in this video that, you know, maybe we're in an echo chamber here. Play the clip.
Counties in Arizona, it's usually this north-south vertical, like blue sliver. It's like all red to the eastern part of the state, and then there's just blue sliver. We just tied that, which is great.
It's really good.
That's a good sign. And Katie, I think Katie won that drop in Pima.
Uh-oh.
That's not good. Has to have happened. So let me get this straight. She's performing less than 10 points with Trump in Pima.
Yeah.
On the same sort of type of vote.
Correct.
Wow.
So that's where she's at.
Man, not only were tracking polls off, they were off by like 6 points.
And
it's incredible.
Well,
this is like a blue wave scenario.
I mean,
man, losing the Pima drop 12 points less than Trump.
That hurts. But I'll tell you what.
When was the last time Trump did a rally here? It was like early October.
Yeah, but Trump should have come in September. He should have come the first week of September.
Man, I'm shocked by some of these numbers, Wendy. I got to be honest. I mean, you know the state really well. You've been a grassroots activist for a while. The vibe on the ground was totally different than this, wasn't it?
Yes. Well, we wonder now if we were in an echo chamber.
Well, I mean, look,
I don't know. I'm just beginning to get some perspective.
Look,
you know, big shout out to Ron Filipkowski, runs a great Twitter account and does great work, who put that video together, and he posted that on Twitter. I want to show you some other clips, though, because after their realization, these MAGA extremists, that they're living in an echo chamber, do you think that they will leave the echo chamber? Do you think they go, oh, maybe we should try to become, I don't know, a little bit more normal and try to appeal to the exhausted pro-normal, exhausted pro-democracy America, people who are just like, we're done with this craziness? No. These MAGA influencers then continue to make television appearances on their own echo chamber MAGA extremist networks, and they say things like this. Look, here's the pillow guy fascist, who's one of the main MAGA influencers, you know, basically saying that he's 100% sure that Kari Lake and Blake Masters won, and just spreading more deranged conspiracies. Here, play this clip of Mike Lindell.
We fought them. They're absolutely caught. Everything that was done in Arizona, they are caught, and this is going to just the tip of the spear for unraveling. See, there's tens and tens of thousands of citizens that are looking for a place to reach out. They're going to do sworn affidavits of what happened. I don't think there's a judge in this country that can't say we need a new election down there in Arizona. And not just for Kari Lake. Remember, they took Mark Fincham's too. They took Blake Masters. They were all stole. And I don't care. Doesn't matter what anyone says. We already know this. We were watching it from the Edison report. We were watching it cyberly. And we were watching just blatantly. The citizens were all watching. So imagine having 3 different camera angles of a crime. When you have a crime of this magnitude committed, you can't certify this election.
And then we turn to the MAGA right-wing extremist influencers Bannon and Cash Patel. Cash Patel, who had to testify before the grand jury because of his involvement in Donald Trump's theft of top-secret, sensitive, compartmented records that Donald Trump stole from the government, and Patel was involved in the attempts to overthrow the free and fair election of 2020 after he was appointed to become the chief of staff to the Secretary of Defense. It's just completely insane. But here they are just spreading more conspiracies and talking about a holiday mug that says communist tears on it, and Cash Patel selling this just bizarre children's book. Here, play this clip.
Both signed by me, along with a Christmas ornament and a bright green Christmas mug that says communist tears. All at a big discount for you guys today. PlotAgainstTheKing.com. Get both books signed by me and some Christmas cheer for the holiday season. Love to see you on Truth Social. And Steve, I will for sure catch you guys at the live Rav feed.
Then you go back to their culture wars issue, like, you know, their big issues, right, leading up to the midterm elections and really throughout 2021 and 2022. What were the big MAGA issues? Mr. Potato Head this, and Green M&M that, and Disneyland is too woke, and let's burn books. And, you know, you go back further, it's like, let's burn Nike socks, and let's attack LeBron James and other athletes. Just their culture war issues. And look, they're right back at it. The MAGA extremists go right back to their echo chamber. And here's what Ben Shapiro is talking about. Here's a post by Shapiro. He goes, as Disney begins pushing Strange World for next week's release, a Disney movie that's coming out, here's the reminder that their, quote, not at all secret gay agenda to target kids is ongoing. It's part of the plot of this movie, just as it was with Lightyear. Your kids, your choice. The not at all secret gay agenda. What are you talking about, Ben Shapiro? They just want to spread hate and divisiveness. And look, while the Democrats and pro-democracy coalition wants to spread compassion, inclusiveness, the real cancel culture takes place here with Ben Shapiro and the MAGA extremists who really want to cancel inclusivity. They really want to cancel. They want to use the power of government to try to shut down private business enterprises that want to reflect the way our country is, a compassionate and diverse country where we support inclusivity. Anyway, let me go and give you another one. Here is another one by Stephen Miller. He goes, a core societal dilemma posed by ballot harvesting is that elections will increasingly be decided by the least engaged and least interested voters. For example, the election day votes of parents enraged by Dems pushing pornography at school are easily negated by one good harvester. Hey, Stephen Miller, what are you talking about? I mean, just deranged stuff, talking about Democrats pushing pornography at schools. No one's pushing pornography at schools. It's the MAGA extremists who have weird visions of sexuality. They haven't come to terms with whatever it is they're going through. So you project all of this hate on people. What Democrats want, what the pro-democracy coalition want is, we want people to get a good education. We want people to be taught the truth about what takes place. We want kids to be educated. We want to support teachers. We don't want to destroy teachers and attack teachers. We don't believe in book burning. And you just make stuff up. Parents enraged by Dems pushing pornography. No, you're the ones who talking about all this weird stuff. All I hear is the right-wing people just constantly talking about genitals all the time. Like, what is going on with them? We go on here. This is General, I'm not going to say his name, Mike Flynn. It's at Real Gen Flynn is his handle. But this is what he says, spreading more conspiracy. He goes, no way, I'm sorry, but we now demand an in-person full forensic signature hand count. This recount should be in camera and exposed on live TV for every citizen of Arizona and America to see. If after the recount Hobbs is still the legit winner, I'll shut up and walk away from all this. more of the echo chamber of spreading lies and election denying. This is Steve Bannon on his show called War Room saying that there's zero probability that Kari Lake lost her election. Here, play this clip of just, again, more bizarre echo chamber conspiracy by the MAGA extremists. Play the clip.
I connect President Trump and Mar-a-Lago. It's the lead story on the Daily Mail, and the Kari Lake situation. It's zero probability that Katie Hobbs, hiding in her basement, refusing to debate, won that election. Just zero probability.
Finally, we go back to Stephen Miller. Again, just spreading dangerous lies and conspiracy. This is what he goes. He goes, "We now live in a country where it's easier to get chemical castration drugs than ivermectin." You know, that tweet right there pretty much sums up the Republican Party, right? That is what they are leaning into. That is what they are focused on. Their focus is on spreading the idea of ivermectin rather than the actual scientific data of what can be used to most efficiently combat COVID. They're obsessed with injecting yourself with bleach and then talking again, going right back to genitals and spreading all these weird, bizarre conspiracies. Like, that's their message, right? They're talking about drag queens and castration and pornography and all of these things. And Americans, the pro-normal coalition, the exhausted majority, is like, okay, what the hell are you talking about? Like, can you talk to the issues about how I can make sure that I get paid a wage with dignity? I want to make sure that the members of my family get paid for their hard work. I don't want to struggle paycheck to paycheck. And I want to make sure that my children and I have the best access to healthcare and to education. I want our country to work. I want the roads to work. I want to improve our infrastructure. I want to make sure our veterans are taken care of. I want to make sure that manufacturing jobs are brought here in the United States. I want to make sure that if there are issues with the economy, for example, inflation, that our leaders are taking steps like the Inflation Reduction Act to combat it, which is lowering inflation, versus spread conspiracy that just like a miracle, it's all going to go away. It's not even a real thing. Don't worry about it. You know, the American people are not stupid. And Republicans treat American people like they're stupid. And this was a big repudiation of that. And as you saw from the outset with the Charlie Kirk clip, where they are reflecting on that maybe there's an echo chamber. Yeah, you are living in an echo chamber, but you need to reflect on what the lessons are. What makes this country a real special place is our welcoming nature, our compassionate nature, our hard work ethics, our ability to support Americans and to support people abroad who support the ideals of democracy and peace. Like, that's who America is. And we try to make things better, and we try to act like adults in the room to confront serious issues. So as they reflect on the echo chamber and the MAGA right wing, ultimately they come to the conclusion that they can't get out of the echo chamber. It's just more of the same with these people, just the extremism. And Americans are savvy. Americans get it. And, you know, we're going to keep spreading the message here on the MeidasTouch Network. I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. Hit the subscribe button. We're on our way to 1 million subscribers thanks to your support. Hit subscribe right now. It's free to subscribe. Also, would you consider becoming a patron of MeidasTouch? Go to patreon.com/MeidasTouch. patreon.com/MeidasTouch. There's lots of exclusive membership subscriptions there that you can join with exclusive content you can only get there. But most importantly, I think that it just helps grow this independent platform. We're not funded by any outside investors at all. So please consider it. Patreon.com/MeidasTouch. I'm Ben Meiselas. Until next time.
At MeidasTouch, we are unapologetically pro-democracy, and we demand justice and accountability. That's why we're spreading our message to Convict 45. That's right, gear up right now with your Convict 45 tees and pins at store.MeidasTouch.com. That's store.MeidasTouch.com.